What's up guys, WhiteFox1225 here with another video, and today I want to talk more about the Morrowind expansion for ESO. I covered it some before I left for training, but not really in the depth that I wanted to, so I thought today I'd make another video sharing my final thoughts on the expansion. I want to talk more about how I enjoyed it and give you guys more of my thoughts, but also I want to cover some of the complaints the community had, specifically whether or not Morrowind is worthy of the expansion title, or if it really was just a DLC. If you guys watched my first impression video, you probably already know that I enjoyed Morrowind quite a bit. It's actually been a while since we got a full PvE zone, so to play through a complete zone again was an absolute blast, and it just reminded me how much I love questing in ESO. A lot of people in the community though have said that Morrowind isn't really an expansion, it's more of a DLC. A lot of people were upset about the amount of content they got for the price they paid, and really overall people just expected to get more content in general. The main complaint I've heard is usually that there's a lack of PvE content, especially the main quest for Vardenfell. A lot of people felt that it was really short, and me included. I really agree with them on this point. The main quest with Vivec was very short compared to other zones, and compared to what ZeniMax sort of led us on to believe. It's almost like there's two main quest lines. It's pretty weird. There's one with Vivec, which is the one they advertise, but also the one quest line with Naru and the Marartong, which is almost equally as long. And in some ways that's cool because, you know, you get to see two different medium-sized quest lines instead of just one huge one. But I do think it makes the story seem a little shorter and a little less epic than usual. It was a cool experiment by ZeniMax, but I think in the long run they're going to look back and say, we should really stick to one quest line for these zones, and I think that's what they're going to do in the future. Overall, main quest line and side quests, I think there was just less PvE content, or at least less PvE solo content than people expected. Playing through Vardenfell definitely does not take longer than the average DLC like Orsinium or something like that. It really isn't that much bigger. So in a sense, Morrowind really didn't meet those expectations people had for it, and it's easy to say, oh, it's just a DLC that they called an expansion, but I think it is very, very important to remember that this expansion adds a lot more than just PvE questing. We also got a new trial and two new features that the community has been asking about for quite some time, those being the new small-scale PvP battlegrounds and the brand new Warden class, along with other things like player houses, costumes, armor sets, things like that, smaller things, but still important nonetheless. Without those, I would say 100% this is not an expansion, but with all those new features that the community has been asking for, I really do think it is fair to call Morrowind an expansion because it adds much more than the average DLC. I will say though that in terms of an average MMO expansion, there is definitely less content here compared to games like World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2. This is a much smaller expansion. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at this. It is more content than usual, but maybe not as much as you would expect with the expansion word being thrown around. Moving on guys, I want to talk about the balancing changes they made with Morrowind. Now that people and myself have gotten a chance to play through all the balancing changes and see how the game feels now, I think it is safe to say that the community definitely overreacted to those changes, and even saying that might just be an understatement. Personally, I'm enjoying the game a lot more since the update, and that's all I can really say for myself. It is a personal thing, but I really do think the game is very well balanced, especially in the PvP area now. Of course, things can always be better. There's always more changes they can make and better balances they could do for certain skills, but overall I think this was a positive and necessary change for the future of ESO. But like I said, that's completely just my opinion, so if you guys feel differently, make sure you tell me in the comments below because I'd be interested to hear. But I think the community has sort of calmed down from those original patch notes and kind of come to terms with these new changes. Overall guys, I really enjoyed Morrowind, and I hoped there would be more story content, but overall guys, there is a lot to love here and a lot of good stuff to play through. And maybe more importantly, there's something for everyone, no matter what you enjoy, PvP, PvE, just making new alts and playing new classes. There is something for everyone, and I would encourage everyone who loves ESO to check this out. If you haven't picked it up yet, I would highly recommend you do. Also keep in mind it is bound to go on a deep sale eventually, like a lot of Elder Scrolls Online stuff does. So if maybe you're a little hesitant with the price tag, keep an eye out for a sale or something like that. If you guys do want to see more Morrowind content, make sure you keep an eye on the channel and hit that subscribe button. If you liked the video, click that like button. Thank you so much for watching as always. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.